I got the bluebird, it might die. It got wetted. I say rock. I'm not trying to lose my mind. I got that attitude at all times. I got this attitude at all times. I got a black hat, it might live.
Death Grips are an experimental hip-hop group from Sacramento, California. They were formed in 2010 and apart from a short blip, still going. They are MC Ride, who is their rapper, Zach Hill, who was a drummer, Andy Morin, who is their keyboard and audio engineering person. They have released 6 albums to date. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is the 3rd album by Death Grips. It's my first encounter with them in any shape or form. So this review is a request review. Most of the reviews on my channel are me working my way from 3,000 up to 1 in a list of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to a list at a website called Acclaim Music. But I'm doing the occasional request review. If you want to make a request for a review, make a comment on any of my videos to that effect, and I might get around to it. I'm not making any promises. Depends on how many I get. At the moment, it seems to be quite handleable. I've got a backlist of about 3 or 4, so we're doing okay. So this was requested by one of my subscribers. You don't have to be a subscriber to request a review, called Yeetgor. I presume that's not his or her real name. So I will quote from the comment that they put. I think the most interesting thing would be to listen to you talk about something that I'm 100% sure you would never listen to out of your own will. Yeah, absolutely right. I would not choose to listen to that. To this. So here we are. We're going to do this. So enjoy. So unfortunately, one of the things that I like to do with these albums is, as you probably gathered if you watch any of these videos, is that I have a clip of the music at the start and a clip of the music at the end, just over all the kind of credits and stuff, to give you a feel for the music. It's an obvious thing to do with a video. However, with this album, I have what I think is a fairly major problem, which is I cannot give you the proper feel for this album, because what I'm not going to do is put things that are actually problematic in there. And in this album, if to give you the proper feel of the album, I should be doing some of the really sweary stuff that's in the vocals. So you're just going to have to either go listen to it for yourself or take my word for it that there's a lot of obscenity on this album. Let's break it down a bit and do some more description. So musically, I tend to talk about the backing first when I'm talking about a hip-hop album. Not always. So the backing is it is definitely experimental. It's abrasive. It's often quite distorted. Sometimes it's disjointed. I think the first track on the album, actually, the way it starts, is one of the best impressions you can get. It's got overdriven bass, stuttery drums, is deliberately aggressive and designed to grate on your nerves, or at least that's how I feel. Occasionally it's a bit more musical. There are bits, especially in some of the introductions, and that's probably what I'll do in the outro as one of the more musical intros, because that was the bit that I kind of found reasonably acceptable. But in general, it's the kind of hip-hop sounds that I don't like. Some of the sounds that I used are particularly kind of strident sounds that remind me of the tone, the frequency range of things like sirens and stuff like that, or the scratching of fingernails down a blackboard and that sort of thing. And there's a tendency in some hip hop to use these things, and they cause an effect. And they're definitely this band are out to have that kind of abrasive effect. And some of the critics for the album have kind of said that they're basically trying to assault people audibly, and this is very much the feeling that I get. The vocals, so you've got the impression of what I'm thinking of the vocals. They're generally short, wrapped phrases. They're often quite shouty. There's a variety of different ways that he delivers stuff. This is MC Ride, I presume, mostly. There are bits of screaming at times, and when you can actually work out what's being said in the vocals, which is a reasonable amount of the time, it's rapping, and it's mostly obscenity. So there are bits that aren't, but the majority, I would say, about 85-90% of the vocal stuff here, if you took a phrase, it would be obscene in some way, and it would probably have 2 or 3 bad words, people, lots of bad words in here. So I would say I feel like I get it. I feel like I understand what they're trying to do. They're pushing the envelope of taste and listenability. They're going kind of beyond what is normally accepted barriers, both musically and lyrically. They're not telling any kinds of stories. They're just putting this stuff out, and it has that effect. And I presume this is what they're going for. And if it's not what they're going for, then they've got it wrong, because this really is having this kind of abrasive, aggressive effect. I feel it's a bit like a Scotch bonnet chili pepper. So you get these competitions where people eat chili peppers, and they're really hot, and it's kind of a painful thing to do, and it's to kind of show how macho they are, and how able they are to take this sort of stuff. And I feel like music like this sometimes can be a bit like that. It's about who can we exclude? How can we exclude as many people as possible? And there must be a kind of level, so there must be music that's made that is so exclusive that the only people who would possibly listen to it would be the band themselves, and that nobody else would actually enjoy listening to it at all. I think this pulls back from that line somewhat, so that there are some people that side of the line, but the majority of people sit on this side of the line. And I think that's deliberate. They're trying to put it in a place where it is specialist listening. So I'm sure it has an audience. I would say quite clearly, I don't think that audience includes me. I was not a huge fan of it. I don't think it's, not that I think all music has to be music that you could sit and listen to at a picnic. Can you imagine being, in a nice park, birds are singing, the trees are flying, whatever, and you've brought with you a boombox and you're playing this, you're going to get looks from people around you. Nobody's going to be liking this. There might be 1 or 2 people in a big park who go, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." Personally, I'd be going, if I had my kids there, please don't subject my kids to this. There's so much bad language in it. So I'm not a fan. So Yeetgor, you are absolutely right. It's not something I choose to listen to. I have no idea how you're going to take my take on this. I hope that this isn't something that's really precious to your heart, and I hope I haven't disappointed you in any way, or made you feel that I'm unreasonable in my assessment of this. But you asked for my opinion, and you've got it, so there it is. But anybody else who wants to pile in with your opinion, there's the comments box below. Please let me know what you think. And also, like I said before, if you want to request a review, please just put a comment on any of the videos on my channel, and I'll maybe get around to it. Okay, that's it from me for now.